Yo guys, welcome to Crypto MC. My name is Rudo, and today we're going to take those trader woes and frustrations. Is this going to go up? Is this going to go up so much higher? Is this going to be alt season, or is this just another trap? What am I to do regarding taking profit? Should I hold for crazy targets, or is this going to be short-lived? All those kind of questions. I want to try and put my TA to the test to give you as much information so that you're armed to answer those questions for yourself. It's all about empowering you guys. So if you're new to the channel, let me know. And if you're the regular OGs like we have here for the last few years, Yuto, Rene, everybody else, drop me a comment. Just why not? Say hi. Let's get into the stream. Okay, so let's get serious real quick. Bitcoin. I've got Bitcoin on the screen here, and I've been tracking this thing with you guys in the Discord. So if you want to have a little bit of a history on where we've been coming from with Discord, all you need to go is in my video description, go to my Discord, and then go to the community channel. And then when you click on discussion, you should see the Bitcoin 4-hour thread in there. I say I haven't posted in the thread in the last few hours, so it is hiding there. There it is. There's the 4-hour thread. So you should be able to then, let's expand this. So let's do this. Let's just take the camera away there, Peter, please. There we go. So you can see that there's everything, how we've been navigating Bitcoin from 107 up to where we're at now. So it's been going really well. So now let's take this and hide this. Let's take all the comments and the notes that I've been sharing. And then what I'll do is I'll just delete the brush strokes. There, my tongue got twisted again. English isn't my first language, guys, so please bear with me. And let's look at it like this. We've been looking at the RSI, and the idea was that around these highs, somewhere here, we're going to experience the market move exactly the same in its way, because the initial move will always be very violent and fast. And once we reach supply, which is where these red lines are marked out, coming from the last time we lost demand, once we reach that supply zone, the market will become hesitant. So what you will find is the market will be correcting instead of impulsing. Now, impulse is big blue candles, small red candles, impulse trend to the upside. When you have a blend of candles, this is all corrections. And typically, it would be a three-wave correction, an ABC. So you would, from an Elliott wave point of view, use your RSI and say A, B, and then C. And then zooming into that B to C, it should be a 5-wave structure or something similar close to that. That's how you identify that you're in a correction. And where we're at with Bitcoin right now is we're starting to become less impulsive and more corrective. So we're probably leading into the weekend for a little bit downside. I know it's a downer on everybody's high at the moment, but we could potentially find that this is the A, the B, and there would be a C. Or you can argue that that's the B. I'm not going to try and dive into this too deep, but in short, we're basically looking for the three waves. And you can see there's always 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There's maybe 1, 2, 3. So there should be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leading it back into demand. So there's that potential that the way that this impulse is forming, we need to lock in that fourth bottom. And the way that I'm going to look at this from an RSI point of view is saying to myself that around these lows, I don't want price to go below that. So we already have an invalidation. I saw a comment from somebody yesterday, but where's the target? So I'll just make it cleaner and more to the point. This is the invalidation level. Bitcoin cannot go below 115. If it does, it's bad. Okay. And we want to see the market move all the way there. It can go up to 150. And the RSI needs to make that lower low. And that would typically sound our buy the dip for the next leg for Bitcoin. Bitcoin going maybe to 134, 150. You know, there's crazy targets floating around. I don't want to try and sell you on an insane target because, in all fairness, no matter who is saying what, technical analysis is predicting. There's no fact. It's just a risk management tool. Okay? Remember, not financial advice. I'm just trying to give you guys the view of how I'm looking at the market with the invalidation. Because if I'm wrong and the market turns and becomes exceptionally bearish, it's going to happen once we fall below this level. Now, what we also know from any of these 5 waves, and please bear with me because I mean, I was talking about Ethereum in the beginning of the stream. Now I'm spending some time on Bitcoin, but please bear with me because the educational side of this is going to be of paramount importance when we look at the dominance and the reason I'm saying alt season is happening. Okay. So typically what we also find when we do have a 3 to 4 wave retrace is this 4 point. The RSI needs to be lower than the 2 for there to be wave on wave divergence. So in essence, the punishment needs to happen in such a way that this RSI does make a lower low, but also fall below that 33.9, or let's round it up 34% or 34 level on the chart. So there's 2 levels that you need to have a look at. You want to see the RSI make a lower low, and you want to see, I'm also going to say thou shall not cross, but I want this to cross. Okay. So I'm just going to change the color, maybe make it purple. Oh, purple you don't really see. Let's make it pink for lack of an inspiration for color. So you want to see this, make a lower low there. Price has to stay above that, and that needs to happen. Now, worst case scenario, we could do a complete shakeout and fall all the way down to these levels. And maybe that will be the generator for the new bullish demand. But we're going to have to take it level by level. For now, let's just try and look at the most obvious next move, as opposed to the extreme outlier possibilities. There's 20% chance that happens versus an 80% chance that this happens. Okay, there we have it. Okay, so that's Bitcoin. Let's see what you guys are thinking and feeling at the moment. Let me know what your thoughts on the crypto market. I mean, everybody's enjoying when it goes up, but in most cases, if it's going up, it's basically just deleting some of the losses for some of the alts you've been holding. So let me know where you're feeling at. I'd love to comment on that later during the stream. Okay, good morning, Jason. Yuto, I'm hoping the pain in holding my alts may now be my favor. That's a really nice way of putting it, my friend. Okay, so back to the talking points for today. So I'm saying to you guys, Bitcoin dominance now has deleted hidden bullish divergence. What do I mean by that? The continuation of the trend. We all know that the dominance, as long as it's trending up, we're not going to see an alt season. And we all know that historically the path to alt season is first, Bitcoin goes. Then Ethereum starts going and outperforms Bitcoin. And that unlocks the door for alts. It changes people's psyche. They all of a sudden, what the guys are saying, their spirit animal becomes greedy. Okay. And once the alts, now they look like a good idea. And they start throwing money in on these oversold, liquidity, starved coins, and they start pumping like crazy. And that's how this happens. So we have a situation where we're sitting in a situation where dominance has been trending up, and now finally we've got Ethereum. Let's look at our friend Ethereum moving. Look at that beautiful pump that we've been experiencing with Ethereum all the way now. It's just been moving. I gave you guys a lot of buy the dips. I'm in some nice Ethereum leverage longs. I'm just sitting on them, waiting for them to get to a TP so I can actually bank the gains, because I'm not seeing anything bearish here. Every time we create strong bearish divergence, I explained to you guys, use the pivot as support. We had small, strong bearish divergence yesterday. It used the pivot as support, and it's been working. So that's the nice thing about this. So it brings me to the next point. In order to look at the dominance really responsibly, I mean, I said this. I'm thinking the dominance has made its first lower low, and this could be the beginning of alt season. So to look at the dominance responsibly, we need to bring in this little chart. And this is my to BTC playlist. So what I'll do is I'm going to make a copy. I want to share this list with you guys. Copy the link in the chat. There it is. That's a trading view list. That's got all the coins that I think is relevant for now, the big old boring ones. Because remember now, first it's going to be large caps, big old boring ones. There's some missing there. If yours is missing, you can just add it in there. But it's those boring ones that we want to look at. So this is the last time we looked at Ethereum from a dominance point of view, or ETH to BTC pairing. And funny enough, it played out nicely. We're looking at these lows. We were identifying all the strong bullish divergences. And what did we do? We broke trend. Trend was clearly there. There's a clear trend. We broke trend and we turned ETH to BTC pairing into a lateral range. Support was there. That was lost and turned into resistance. We fought resistance and we're above it. Now, the big question is, what needs to happen for ETH to go and test that support? Do we need ETH to test that support again? Or can we maybe have another slowdown before that happens? These are all fair questions. I want to try and answer them for you guys. Okay. But now, with this being positive, the trend has started to move up. How can I say that? We had a low. We had a high. We had a higher low, and now we've got a higher high. So finally, we're moving up. So the idea to think that this is going to be bearish again should now be deleted, because the trend now needs to remain bullish for as long as it's going to do. And only once we now go back down and maybe fall and make a lower low, we can then at that stage question whether ETH is not going to outperform Bitcoin or not. Okay. And we know that ETH is the second biggest thing. Now, what could be a good catalyst for this is obviously the approval of the Genius Act. Well, I don't exactly know how the US worked, because Congress now has passed it. Now it needs to go to the Senate, if I'm not mistaken. Like I said, I don't understand, but it's not quite there yet. But basically, it's going to force, if you want us to use the USDT, it needs to be backed 1-to-1. So any dollar that's ever been printed will have 1-to-1 backing. So it's going to be safe and secure. And this thing just opens the doors for more institutional adoption. There's the Bitcoin Act that might come to play, where the US is going to start, that's far down the road, where the US is going to start using funds that's lying around in their treasury at this stage and convert it to Bitcoin. So it's not new taxpayer money. People are angry about saying you're going to use my tax money to buy Bitcoin. No, that's not the case. But that thing means that the US is going to look at it like that. And in short, all these acts, the Genius Act, the Bitcoin Act, and what's the other one? Stablecoin Act, is all just pointing to that the largest economy that we have is now going to legitimately enter the space. And that's bullish. So you have to say that. And the fact that this is on the stablecoin side, it means that your DeFi coins are going to start moving. So go and have a look at DeFi coins, because they will probably be the ones that run first. And coins that I would highlight, I mean, that's why I've been, we've been looking at Hype. We've been looking at a few of the coins, but the one that I would definitely want to look at is Curve. I don't know where it is on this list, but we'll put it up. That would probably be something, because it's like comp, but with stable coins. So it's a big deal. Okay. So back to the point. This then is all fueled because Ethereum has got the biggest DeFi ecosystem. Far outweighs Solana or the others. All this pump is fueled because of this. Similar to, we had our Bitcoin pump that was fueled by the spot ETF. It looked like it did nothing to Ethereum, because it probably didn't really, hindsight's 2020 as always. But if you think about it, so yes, people are not using ETH to store their monetary gains. They want to use ETH for DeFi, banking. So if that then gets approved, it's the same equivalent as Bitcoin getting a spot ETF approval, ETH getting a stablecoin approval, which means that ecosystem can start growing and get institutional adoption. Okay. If you differ in opinion, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Okay. So this means that I have to now be bullish on the market going forward for that reason. And I have to be bullish in narratives like DeFi, Deepen, all those hot new trending topics, because that's clearly where the adoption is going to occur. And then if we have a look at the dominance, we take this information, go back to the dominance. We were dreaming alt season here as well. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I mean, you've followed the journey with me. At this stage, we had a massive reversal, tiny little alt season, and we were dreaming alt season. It was proven wrong, and it just kept on hurting everybody in the alts. What makes this one different? Okay. This time round, you see there's lows, lows, lows. We didn't make any lower low, any significant pivot low on this one. And then it turned around. This time around, it has. Now, opinions differ and angles and views differ, and I support that. So I had Honey Badger say, I don't think that it's going to happen. Benjamin Cowell's video says that it's wrong, and I have to say, I mean, thanks for the comment. And I went and looked at his video. I haven't looked at the whole thing because it's an hour, and I only got the comment right before we went live. But what if what he's saying is simple? He's got it marked out. He's got his levels marked out, his FIP levels. The TA makes sense. But what if this thing starts falling through support? Because his argument is support is living at 60. And from that point onwards, we could see a reaction and move back up. And that's the danger. That's perfectly there. But until then, we could potentially still trend down for a little bit longer. And so I rather want to bet in favor of alt season in the sense that the dominance has deleted hidden bullish divergence, where this time it didn't. This low is the same equivalent as his previous FIP level. So he's got a FIP level there and a FIP level there. So if I flip between the screens, you can see they're a little bit higher even. So he didn't have hidden bullish divergence get deleted on those 2 points, where we now have hidden bullish divergence get deleted. With strong bearish divergence, we've made a lower low. So if we start falling through these levels, it's going to start moving nicely. So I'm saying tops will always look bullish. He's right in the assumption that this is probably not as bearish as I want to try and sound it to you guys, but it's still bearish because it looks bullish. It looks like it's just a retrace and it's going to go on high. Just like bottoms will always look bearish, will always look like there's more. You have to pick a side and you have to have risk in the game, guys. Simple as that. Okay. So that's my point on this. So Honey Badger, I hope that this kind of sheds light. And yes, there's always going to be differing views. It's all depends on how you decide to where you draw the line on the risk. I mean, it's simple. TA is risk management. If you want to make it anything more than this, you're wrong. I'm sorry. There, I'm not negotiating. TA is just a risk management tool. Okay, over to the comments. Let's see what else we have in the comments. Loving ENA at the moment. Me too, my friend. I'm loving AVAX as well. AVAX is doing really well. So we're going to be looking at those. And but let's talk channel sponsors real quick. Okay, guys. So remember what I do is in my Discord, I trade with everybody and I try and make it free. And the only requirement is that you just support the content. So all you need to do is just open an account with either Blofin or PrimeXBT. There was a couple of guys that signed up yesterday. And when you do have that, head over to the navigation channel and claim the role so that I can actually assign you the access into the Discord. Simple as that. Claim the role. Click on the little button. I supported you with Prime or Bybit or Blofin. And if you don't have the link, it's in the video description. You can also go to Linktree. It's in the video description. Or you can go down to partners there. There's a little link there in the community section. So simple as that. Support the content. Back the channel that backs your trades. Okay. Now, to the point. Alt season. So I think if you look at the agenda, I said Bitcoin is going to slow down. Ethereum is gaining momentum. We're moving down this list into what is going to be alt season. So both me and Benjamin Cohen is right. I'm earlier because I'm more technical analysis. He's more on-chain analysis. Okay, that's the differing opinion, and the fact that ETH has now established a bullish trend to the Bitcoin pairing is why I'm waiting that. I also said to you guys, and let's just quickly recap then, the dominance has now deleted its hidden bearish divergence or hidden bullish divergence, meaning it can still be range bound. There's no rule that says it has to now just fall to the floor in one move. In all fairness, what part of the comment was yesterday was, go and make the lower low, then come back to create a head and shoulders pattern. That typically is a reversal pattern then completed, meaning when we get here, we will have hidden bearish divergence, the RSI making a higher high. And that then will establish a more, the continuation of alts. Okay. So then to take this on to the next thought then, is because of this, we're going to have to be a little bit more conservative with taking profit. Those ENA gains that you're loving, Jason, okay? The AVAX gains that I'm talking about, all those things, we have to be conservative because it's not a sure thing yet, meaning in the sense there's no established trend that it's going to turn. Maybe it never happened. So this means that if we look at Bitcoin to ETH to the Bitcoin pairing, and you zoom back, I'm going to go daily time frame, and we just look at the amount of time. They all trend up together. Bitcoin is the tide that up till now, like a rising tide, rises all the ships. But then there's these moments where the coins outperform Bitcoin. And if you zoom out, you use the BTC to ETH pairing, you can see that in all fairness, if I wanted to be in Ethereum, the amount of time that I actually wanted to spend, hindsight's 2020, guys, I know this, but this is the trend. The only time I wanted to be in Ethereum was that 2 months there. That 2 months there, or that's 3 months, give or take, 100 days, a little bit more. That's the only time I really wanted to be in ETH. And maybe there, that 54 days there. And yes, you can try and, get really creative in this, but I want that one as well. And so you can see that for the majority of time, alt season is a short-lived emotion. So people tend to know, it's going to be like Bitcoin. It's going to be bullish for months. No, it's not going to be. Not yet, especially. You're going to jump between one coin to the other coin. That's what you could potentially do. And Ethereum is now only getting started. So if you feel like it's maybe too late, I've missed the bus, ETH is close to $4,000, it's going to move. If this is going to be an alt season, we're either there or there for that matter. And the real move is going to be quick. It's going to be over in maybe 2 months from now, and then it's done. You get back into Bitcoin or go to stable if it's a bear market. Okay, so that's the longevity of these alt seasons. Now, let's look at Solana. Solana has been a powerhouse against ETH for a while. And look at that. Same thing. There's a small period of window, 2 months, where you can scream, hey, this is amazing being in Solana. And the beginning of this boom market, Solana did a little bit better. But that's it. All the other times, being in any other coin is counterproductive. So this immediately should change your mindset because I'm getting comments. Just going to hold. I'm just going to hold. I think Renee said this to me. I'm just going to hold forever. It's just going to go up. No, it's not going to do that. Okay. And if anything taught us, if this alt season taught us anything, I need to refresh this, is there's too many coins out there. The market is saturated with new projects, all trying to be the next big thing. It's going to be short-lived. And hey, we're not even there yet per the index, but we're getting there. It was 33, now it's 50. More coins are slowly but surely catching up and passing Bitcoin. Okay, and the coins you want to look at first is the coins on this list. You don't need AI, you don't need somebody special. You just need to go and look at the coins on this list. The coins that I've been in were on this list and is now on the other side of it. Okay, that's all you want to look for. There's our arrow. I want to try and get in on hype now. Hyperliquid over the weekend. Hopefully, we get a little bit of retrace. I'm still, I was looking at Fartcoin yesterday. I had it on the screen here, guys, and I was lying on the couch, And I was saying, maybe I must put some money in Fartcoin. And I'm looking at it, and then it's up 4%, and then it's up 5%, and then 3%. And I'm just looking at the thing, and I'm still on the fence with this, but it could potentially turn into another Pengu, and look, we all just want to make some money here, guys, and maybe there's money to be had there. So go and have a look at that. There's Curve. I'm telling you guys, this is going to be big. Curve is going to do really well. Have a look at Curve. Okay, my arrow play is up 30% for the last 2 weeks. Curve is the next one. Have a look at Curve. It's gonna do really well. Then BitTensor is also there on the list. You can see that HBAR is also moving up nicely. So these coins are really, and then Link. Don't forget about Link, because anything, Link is basically, I don't know if it's the only oracle, but it's the main guy on the Ethereum network. Nothing that gets computed within the blockchain on the ETH network, basically. Nothing can't happen without an oracle providing the data. That's Link. So ETH pumps, Link's going to follow. Have a look at Link. Okay. Let's see what else we need to, Trump is moving up nicely. Mana is moving up. Mantle. Okay, this was BitDAO, Bybit's DAO, and it's moving now. It's starting to climb up this list. So keep an eye on it. It hasn't seen any success. The original seed price for this was $1.14, something like that, for pre-market investment. It went just a little bit higher, and then it's just seen bear market. Nobody has made profit on this project yet, realistically. So there's accumulation. Everybody's holding on to their coins. There's a big thing coming there. So keep an eye on that one. OP's on the list. We've been looking at OP. Ton is kind of finding its feet. Aptos had an amazing beginning of bear market run where it was really hot, and maybe it needs to kick back in there. So yeah, and Celestia still just not there yet. I was looking at Celestia. Maybe I must buy a little bit more. So there you have it. There's a little bit of a breakdown on the alts for you guys. So stick to this. Keep it simple for now. Don't try and be smart ass. We all want to be. Keep it simple for now, because these coins are going to be there. And have a look at this Polkadot. I mean, it's kicking up now. Uni is moving. There's our best friend ENA now, moving nicely. There's Curve. I was looking at Curve now. It's down here. It can't be this small. Okay. So all these coins, give them time. And then JTO is also G2. It's also something we need to, that is a name that jumps out at me. And there's Aerodrome. Give it. It's going to go. And that's it. So that's basically the argument. An alt season is short. So if you go and have a look at all these BTC pairings, BNB, probably BNB would, look at that. When do I really want to be in BNB? I want to be there. Just make my Bitcoin more. And then, yeah, for the rest of the time, it's going to be bad. And that's the general trend with everything. Now, SUI is at this stage. Look at SUI to BTC. So people are in love with SUI, but there was the only time you really wanted to be in SUI and there. And if this is the beginning, yes, maybe SUI can, maybe SUI from this point on could turn 1 Bitcoin still into 3 Bitcoin, 2-3 Bitcoin. That's it. That's what you want to use these coins for. And then after this, once we start moving into here, alt season, when the shit moves, okay, that is when the micro caps is going to start kicking light, because people are just going to say that. So we're so far away from that I won't look at stuff like, I'm looking at that. Let me just correct my words. I'm looking at stuff like Newt. Every day, I just keep an eye on this thing, because this is then what everybody actually wants alts to do. Go give me my 1,000%ers, that kind of thing. Newt being one of those. There's a lot of them on the list here, and I keep an eye on them. There's another 1,000x airdrop. So then these coins will have their moment in the sun. Okay, so to finish up all the thoughts on taking profit, guys. Keep it simple. Follow the levels. Don't get hung up on a target that's going to happen. Bitcoin is still in a sell zone. Don't forget this. Losing momentum is part of what alt season is. been tried and tested. Alt season happened there. This was alt season. This little piece. All of this was Bitcoin season. That's what it means. So the fact that we're moving into alt season means that we're reaching the end. Remember, when you look at this chart, statistically now, through Bitcoin's entire life cycle, it tops out at the 38.2 time flip between halvings, and it bottoms at the 618. I'm just showing you the TA, guys. I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm just saying, and this is saying that we've got 3 months left. August, September, October. Maybe November. Take things level by level, but understand. Just don't, understand it. So we want to just be practical about these things before we move on. Okay. So these genius acts, this is the kind of sell the rumor, or buy the rumor, sell the event. Meaning, when this thing gets passed, I don't know when it's going to pass on the Senate, what the date might be. It might mean that it's buy now, ape in, and write this thing. And when it does pass on the Senate, get the hell out. What happened when Bitcoin got its first futures traded ETF? That was at the high, 2018. The institutions are going to now be able to trade Bitcoin. It's going to go to 100K, sitting at 19. That was the headliner that dumped the shit out of that. I don't remember off heart now what was the headliner that dumped the shit out of this one, but we also had a war that kind of just stole the thunder of everything. And then stable coins everybody's money got stolen, and all of that nonsense that happened with that just added fuel to the fire. But it's buy the rumor, sell the event. It's always been that way, because once everybody has bought, it can't go up higher. Buy now, because there's still people going to come and buy. Know that that's going to run out. Okay. Now, I think that's everything for me for today regarding the coins, regarding the take profits, my thoughts on taking profit, how long alt season typically lasts. It's a short moment, so enjoy it. Okay. And that's it. So that's it. Let's ever to the comments and see if there's anything else. Let's see. 15% flushes come every few days. Yes, the market will retrace. It does have the tendency to retrace. You're 100% correct. Let's see what else. There is AXL that does what Link does, but in a less magnitude. Yeah. I mean, I was looking at another Oracle. Well, I'm heavily invested in Charlie 3, Cardano's Oracle. Now, with the Stablecoin Act, or the Genius Act, it means that the US economy is going to come in, but Trump's probably going to punt US coins, US-based coins. Cardano, OP, I think HBAR, those kind of things. They're going to get attention, and is going to want to push there. So those ones would probably be things to have a look at. Cardano does really well. Their Oracle will do well. Charlie 3. I don't even know where the price is at the moment. I was so blessed to get in on pre-market investment. I haven't sold any. Still holding the stuff. I don't know what the value is of that. I don't even want to try and force you guys or share the chart for that matter, because I know that it's at this stage it's very cheap. But that's it. Okay. Mr. Compel, on vacation. Hey, buddy, enjoy your vacation, man. Come back nice and well rested. The market is not going to go anywhere. There you have it. Guys, thanks so much for taking the time. About 330 people joining in live. Do me a solid. Share the video. Hit the like. Leave a comment. Tell me what you're thinking, what I'm saying. I was going off a bit here today. And I'll make sure that I just quickly didn't miss anything. Something for the traders. Because this was actually still the Trade for a Living podcast. The altcoins in the afternoon. Remember this, guys. Bitcoin is pushing down, making lower lows on price. Let's just make sure that this is updated. I don't know how often these refresh. I just want to do this. Just a little bit of trading, kind of keep us on point what we really want here. Okay. So what do we have here? Bitcoin's coming down. Open interest is remaining relative flat. So there's no real incentive for liquidations at this stage. Price is in harmony with the amount of traders that's there. Real liquidations occur when there's a big disparity between the two, typically. It's hard to read off this chart. So the better chart that I would use is this one. And your buy the dips happen when your funding rate flips negative, because then it means that there's not enough longs to support the market. They incentivize people going long. And at this stage, the funding rate is expensive. So everybody is strong trending. So when it's like this, it's not leave alone, there will be a retrace. No, don't think of it like this. Think of it like this as just keep on buying the dip. Don't afford yourself retraces that makes lower lows, because then it could turn around. But stick with the trend. The trend is up, buy the dip and trade that. And then if you're wrong, you only have to be wrong once, get your stop, pay your dues. Then you can trade the other side of the market until it flips again, because then it tells you, hey, there's not enough. You can see there. Look at that. That was a great buying opportunity. Why? Because it wasn't enough. And the market moved up. Okay. Nice chart. Coinanalyze.net. Just go and check it there. Okay. There you have it. That's it. That's everything from me for today. 36 minutes. Thanks so much, guys. You have a lovely weekend. I personally expect a little bit of a slowdown and a slow grind for Bitcoin on the 4-hour. I will be taking profit on some of my longs during the week. So I'm not going to let stuff ride over the weekend. I want to see Bitcoin test these demand zones here. And the buddy indicator, if you sign up with your getting any of those exchange links that I've spoken about earlier, you can use that to help you through the emotions. You can see there the buddy indicator switched orange there already. So now this is all bearish. Okay, so you don't act on that. Bearish. So you wait for the bearish setups to play out. I think it might be, no, it's not filtered. Okay, and that's it. Let this thing go down, and this is now on the 15-minute. And there's your trading. Okay, a few more comments coming in. Hello, Max. Hello, Renee. Okay, guys, so have a lovely weekend. I'll see you Monday. Cheers.